Welcome to our learning activity video on Maths for Senior High School General Mathematics. And we are in Qtr-1, Week 7D. For the objective, the learner solves problems involving exponential functions, equations, and inequalities. Exercises number 1. Directions. Solve the following problems. Write your solutions in your answer sheet. Number 1. Gretchen opened a savings account and deposited 30,000 as principal. The account earns 7% interest, compounded continuously. What is the balance after 2 years? For the solution, since the principal amount P, that's capital P, is equal to 30,000, and given rate R equals 7%, converted to decimal, 0.07, and T equals 2 years, then we have to substitute these values into the formula. A equals capital P times E raised to R times T, or the rate times the time. A equals, the pre is 30,000, so we substitute this. Then E is the natural exponential value. If you press the calculator, you have the value for E. Then raise it to R, the rate, interest rate, 0.07 times 2 years. So after 2 years, the account balance is already 34,508 pesos and 21 centavos. Hence, 34,508 pesos and 21 centavos is the balance in Gretchen's savings account after 2 years. Moving on to number 2, if you invest 25,000 pesos at an annual interest rate of 4.5% compounded continuously, then we have to calculate the final amount you will have in the account after 5 years. Problems 1 and 2, we use compounding continuously. That's why we use E. Solution. Since the principal amount given is equal to 25,000 pesos, then we have the rate R is 4.5, convert to decimal, that's 0.045, and T equals 5 years. Substituting these values into the given formula, we have capital A equals capital P times E raised to rate times the time. So this is the formula for continuously compounded amount or account. So substituting the values, we have 25,000 times E raised to 0.045 times 5 years. We have 31,308 pesos and 7 centavos. Hence, this amount is the final amount you have in account after 5 years. Exercises number 2. Direction. Solve the following problems. Write your solutions in your answer sheet. For number 1, the number of bacteria in a culture is given by the function n of t equals 930 times e raised to 0.3 times t, where t is measured in hours. What is the initial population of the culture? And how many bacteria will the culture contains at t equals 10 hours? For the solution, so we have the given formula, n of t equals 930 times e raised to 0.3 times t. This is the initial population of the culture of bacteria, which is given to be 930. So we're done with the question, what is the initial population of the culture of bacteria? And how many bacteria will the culture contains at time t equals 10 hours? So we have to substitute t equals 10 in the given exponential model. N of t is equal to 930 times e raised to 0.3 t. So we have here n of 10 is equal to 930 times e raised to 0.3 times 10, and that would be equal to 18,679 bacteria after 10 hours. Hence, we have here the value and the required solution. Moving on to number 2, the Streptococci bacteria population, capital N, at time t in months is given to be n equals n sub 0 times e raised to 2 times t, where n sub 0 is the initial population. If the initial population was 80, how many bacteria will there be after 4 months? Solution, given n sub 0 equals 80 and t equals 4 months. And we have to substitute these values in the given formula. N equals n sub 0 times e raised to 2 times t. So we have n equals 80 times e raised to 2 times t equals 4 months. So there will be 238,476. Hence, after 4 months, there will be 238,476 Streptococci bacteria. Number 3, the formula for the amount of energy E in joules released by an earthquake is given to be E equals 1.74 times 10 raised to 19 times 10 raised to 1.44 m, where m is the magnitude of the earthquake on the Richter scale. Supposing an earthquake with magnitude 5.4 on the Richter scale strike a certain place in the Philippines, how many joules were released? Solution, given m is 5.4, we have to substitute this in the given formula. So we have just to substitute 5.4 for m. M is the magnitude on the Richter scale. So the required answer is 1.04 times 10 raised to 27. Hence, 1.04 times 10 raised to 27 joules were released. Enrichment activity. Directions: solve the following problems and write your solutions in your answer sheet. Number 1, Mrs. Ferrer wants to invest 100,000 pesos for 5 years, and she can choose between 2 accounts. The first pays 6% compounded annually. The second pays 5% compounded continuously. Which is the better investment? Solution: since the amount invested is equal to 100,000 pesos, t equals 5 years, and is compounded annually, so the rate R also is given to be 6% or 0.06, and n equals 1 because it's compounded annually or every year, once in 1 year. Then we have to substitute these given values into the formula. Capital A equals capital P times quantity 1 plus R over N raised to N times T. So plugging in the values, we have 100,000 times quantity 1 plus 0.06 all over N, which is 1, times 5. So we have the amount is 133,822 pesos and 56 centavos. This is for the first investment. For letter B, since the amount is still the same, say 100,000 pesos, T is the same, 5 years. This time, it is compounded continuously. And the rate of interest is 5% or 0.05. Substituting this to the given formula, A equals P times E raised to RT, we are given 128,402 pesos and 54 centavos. So comparing now the total investment from letter A, compounded annually at 6% interest rate with the same P, and time t equals 5, they're the same. So which is better? Earlier we have 133,000. This time we have 128,000 plus. So hence, this is the amount previously answered in letter A, 133,822 pesos and 56 centavos in the account balance after 5 years compounded annually at 6% interest rate is the better investment. So that means the first investment is better than the second one. Moving on to number 2. 120,000 pesos is placed in an account at 3% compounded continuously for 2 years. It is then withdrawn and placed in another bank at the rate of 4% compounded continuously for 5 years. What is the balance in the second account after 5 years? Solution. For the first 2 years, we have the given principal amount, 120,000 pesos, and we have also R equals 3% or 0.03, and T equals 2 years compounded continuously. So we have the given formula A equals P times E raised to RT. So after 2 years, the account balance of an initial investment of 120,000 pesos is 127,420 pesos and 39 centavos. For another 5 years, so meaning this amount is withdrawn and deposited again in an account with 4% interests, and the T is 5 years, and the compounding is continuously. So we have A equals P times E raised to RT, and we have the total amount after calculation is 155,631 pesos and 62 centavos. Hence, this is the amount in the account balance after 5 years. For number 3, certain radioactive material decays in such a way that the mass remaining after T years is given by the function m of T equals 270 times E raised to negative 0.01 times T, where m of T is measured in grams. How much of the mass remains after 20 years? Solution. Since T equals 20, we have to substitute it in the formula m of T. So we have the given formula, and this is supposed to be m of 20. So we have 221.06 grams. Hence, 221.06 grams remains after 20 years. So this is what we call exponential decay. Moving on to number 4. Iloilo province population in 2015 was 1.9 million and can be modeled by y equals 1.9 times e raised to 0.0079 times t. What will be the population of Iloilo in 2025? Solution, we have to substitute t equals 10 in the formula given y equals 1.9 times e raised to 0.0079 times t. So, 2.06 million. Hence, the population of Iloilo in 2025 will be 2.06 million. So this concludes our learning activity video for this Qtr-1 week 7D, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you will be updated with the succeeding learning activity videos that I will going to upload. Thank you very much for listening. This is Teacher Marichu saying stay happy and healthy. God bless.